Welcome to another Tumbler on tour. Um, Back at Dale's, but there are a few people that have said to me, would I be interested in going to them? So there are going to be some more series of Tumbler on tour. What are we doing tonight? Actually, before we do that, I announced the other week my buy me a coffee. Anything bought through the month of November, all of that money is going to go to the Royal British Legion Poppy Appeal, and also anything that's bought on my Teespring accounts. Links in the description. Again, any profit will go to the Poppy Appeal until the end of the month. Let's see what we can raise for them awesome people. So, what are we doing tonight? It is hashtag Christmas Ornament Week. So we're going to do a bit of a big Christmas ornament. We're going to use a piece of sycamore. These the branches from some of the trees that Dale's had cut down here to make way for the new workshop. So it's only fair that we turn a piece of that. Dale, did we decide how you're doing it? Are you in my ear or are you shouting at me or? Okay. So Dale's going to shout at me from over there. Thank you to everyone that's in the chat. I've seen Jennifer. I've seen Douglas. I will try and keep an eye on my phone and just say hello to anyone else. Yeah, let's do it. I am going to wear a face mask tonight, so I might sound a little bit like a Dalek, just because it is probably down about a year, and it's got bark, and I don't want to get slapped in the face. There's some beautiful shavings off this already. A little bit more speed. So if I turn it just over 1,000 there. And you can see from the shavings that's coming off, this is still quite a moist bit of wood. I nicked it out the log pile earlier on. Okay. So we've still got a bit to take off. We'll move the tool rest closer. So who's excited and ready for Harrogate at the weekend? We'll be there Saturday. South Dale, Andy H Bespoke. Okay. Right, so that's where I'm going to round it off to for now. I am going to put a tenon in it and pop it in the chuck. Okay. Where's calipers? So at home, I don't normally use the calipers. I know my chuck, what size it is. We're going to be using the Easy Wood chuck tonight. One thing I didn't check, and it's always good checking if you're using another chuck that's not your own. Just check what the insides are like. Mine are a gripper jaw, so I can put straight tenon in. But these need a little bit of a chamfer because it's a dovetail. So we just put a dovetail on there. There we go. Working on different lathes as well, it's getting to know the lathe, what you can and can't do with it, how it works. I've got in the habit with mine, if I want to slow stuff down, I'll grip the work on the Coronet Herald. That doesn't seem to be your friend, so remembering that. Remember, safety is everything when you're turning. I'm just going to bring the tail stock up, just so we can get it where we were before. Now the Easy Wood has got the speed ring on it. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, so that's why I'm using the chuck key. And we're going to make a Christmas tree, I think. I was umming and ahhing, Christmas tree, snowman, Christmas tree, snowman. Let's go with a Christmas tree. To make sure I've got plenty of room away from the end of the lathe. And we'll go back to the roughing tool just to get rid of some of the excess. Now there's lots of ways, everyone's got their own interpretations of what a Christmas tree should look like when they turn it, how they're doing it is up to you. It's an excellent practice. And if you've got Christmas craft fairs coming up, I don't know about anyone else, but for me they sell really well, same as snowmen. Okay. So we're going to, where's Dale's little round skew? So the bottom of the tree is going to be roughly there. We're just going to give it a little stem. And then I tend to go just roughly every inch. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So we'll start with the pot. what I meant to bring. I meant to bring my my spindle gouge. But hey ho, never mind. You ain't got a spindle gouge. Use a bowl gouge. Okay. Then we'll go back to the parting tool. Now I'm not going to take this all the way in for the time being. I will come back and make it smaller because we have got to turn the rest of the Christmas tree. And if we make this really narrow and really thin here, it's going to make it unstable and unsafe. Okay. Now what I'm doing at the top is I'm just leaving a little bit for the tailstock. Now this timber is really wet, so I'm not going to use a skew. We are going to go back to the bowl gouge. And we're going to come at it from a different angle. We're going to come at it from the bottom. And then when you do the next one, I leave probably about a mil. I don't go right to the edge, just because you don't want it breaking off. I am just going to quickly tidy that bit up a bit. Same here. Now when it comes to the end, or where the branches all meet, you can either come in, when you're cutting, just make sure you've rolled the chisel right over. I can see a few bits here where I haven't, and then it slopes down and looks. But if you don't want to do that, there's no reason why you can't use the tip of your skew on the end. And what I tend to do as well is I don't take it to a big sharp point at the end. For me, that's more about safety at craft fairs. You know, if anyone was to trip and land on it, or if a child was to pick it up, It's just safer not having a sharp point. I take it down to a couple of mil. This one I'm going to leave a little bit bigger. I'm not going to do it this evening, but what I will do is I will use the scroll saw and I'll make a little star, and then leaving it thicker allows me to pop a dowel in there to attach the star. Again, this end, I don't want to take it too narrow because it needs to stand up. It's quite tall, it's quite heavy. If you go really narrow, really thin, it's going to fall over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the tip of the skew just to tidy this bit up. This is where you see you're glad you put your safety protection on. And now I can think about how big I want that stem. I don't want it 10 mil, you know. It's quite a big tree. I'm not doing like that because behind me there's a carbide. Okay. So, we'll even put a little bit of a chamfer in on the pot. Just to give it a bit more character. How's that looking? Okay. Still got a bit of inclusion there. Right. Let's sand it up. These little bits here we'll get with the sandpaper. It is really moist. Did we turn that on? Just turning on the air filtration. Let's take that off now. That might make my voice a little bit better, Douglas. Again, same with the point on the top. I don't want sharp edges, so I'm just rounding them over a bit. And on the top. Let's get in on that stem. I'm just folding my paper. You can get the Turner's thin like mesh for pen turners and stuff. That's ideal for bits like this. Just don't go wedging fingers in there. And if it is still a little bit whispery, it's a Christmas tree. It's meant to look like a bit of bark anyway. Right, so that's 80. Let's do one. Sorry? So this is 120. Okay. This is 180. I'm only using it because I brought it with me. Probably didn't need to. I probably could have gone straight to 240. Right, so look how that is. Lovely. Got rid of all the bits and pieces there. I'm just going to put a relief cutting up the top for where we're going to part it off. I don't know why that's Darth Vader in. Sorry, we'll work with it. But Luke, I'm not your father. I have just caught that with a skew, which is why I'm coming in again. So we'll just have to go back quickly with the paper on the top there. That's too for me. Okay. Cool. So we're now ready for some sand and sealer. I'm getting shouted at somewhere. There's loads. We're going to use the acrylic sanding sealer from Chestnut. This isn't the spray that I normally use. I've never used it like this, so be interesting. Keep the lid handy. This is just a piece of chestnut safety cloth that I'm using to apply it with. Okay. Now I was thinking about colouring this. However, if you look at the colours that are in this, there's yellows, some really white bits, some really green bits, and you can see the grain it's popping. I'm not going to colour this. I'm going to leave it natural. Let's see what the drawing time's like this. So that's spin for a minute. What's going on in the chat? I'm just going to have a quick scroll through just while we're waiting for this to dry. Evening Mark, Colin, Michael, Fred, Gerard. What else is in there? Douglas, I haven't had any whiskey. Ward Wilson, good evening. Brent. Gerard, hope everything is okay with the Mrs. Gerard. Laurie. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use abrasive paste, but we're going to use the new to the market, developed in Yorkshire, True Grit. Now this is only a sample pot. What I really like about these is it comes in an eco-friendly pot. So this is smaller than what you will get. But if you're going to Harrogate this weekend, then please pop by, see Dan and Katie on the Taylor's Murfield stand. I've tested this on, I don't know how many snowmen now, acrylic pens. I've even tested it on a piece of wood that I finished, and then I put sanding sealer, not sanding sealer, spray paint over. Fine. And it is as good as Yorkshire Grit. So as you would with any abrasive paste, with the lathe off, apply it, and you just want to work it in. And what I found with this one is it's a little bit thicker than Yorkshire Grit. It's a little bit coarser to start off with, but it breaks down and gives you a fantastic finish. So there's some people saying it was out of stock. When it initially went live, they only put a certain amount of tins out. That's gone. But there's plenty of tins going Harrogate. If you are on Facebook and you haven't already, head over to True Grit Finishes Facebook page. There's also a YouTube channel that Dan set up. Hasn't got any videos on at the moment, but the plan is to have some videos on there. And I've got the lathe about 300 RPM there. You don't need it massively fast. So I'm just going to turn up the lathe a little bit now. And then what I'll do is I'll swap to a clean bit of cloth. You can actually feel where it's now smooth. Originally it was quite gritty, coarse. You can feel the abrasive action. And now it's smooth. So we'll put that to one side. I did get some cloth. So we turn the speed of the lathe up and we're just going to work it down, and what we're looking for is the cloth to come off clean. And all I'm doing is just folding the cloth, different ways to get the most out of the piece of cloth. Evening, Shark. Alright. I don't know how well that's coming up on the video, but the sheen on that just from the abrasive paste is fantastic. It's almost like you don't need to wax it, but we are going to. What's Dale got to hand? Bear with me, guys. I've just got to run over to the workshop and grab a screwdriver. I know I forget something. Right. We're going to use Hampshire Sheen's microcrystalline wax. Now, while the lathe stopped, I can get in there. Just make sure there's some on that stem. Pop that back. Where was that? That was there. I love how neat and tidy Dale's turning area is. Organised. For someone with me with OCD, it's awesome. Okay, so that was the bit of cloth we put it on with. Microcrystalline wax works best when you give it a little while for all the solvents that are in it to evaporate off. But we're live and we don't want to be sat here watching it. So we're just going to give it a couple of minutes. While I do that, I'm just going to rescue the Raspberry Pi that's powering all the cameras from the shavings that I filled it with. Okay, there we go. So again, when you're taking wax off, just keep moving the paper so you've always got a fresh piece of paper. And you're not pushing really hard with the pressure. You don't want to burnish all the wax off. You just want to buff it up to a shine. And then what I'm going to do, just to get in there on that stalk in the middle, how's that looking? The temptation to grab the chucks, just we're getting bad habits. I'm really happy with that. Such a pretty bit of wood. It'd be wrong to colour it. So what we're now going to do, we're going to cut it off. I know it's been a bit of a shorter live than normal tonight. There's lots of stuff I still want to do. I could bore you with turning something else. Now, there's not going to be a live next week. I'm on nights. And the following week, I'm on late. So I'm going to be missing for a couple of weeks, but I will be back. The joys of shift work. Okay. So I went too far on the top there. So I'm just going to turn the speed of the lathe down. Move this point out of the way. That's called being too eager. That's really gone off, hasn't it? Why has it done that? It's moved out the chuck. That's why. It is wet timber. It does move. And it's my fault. I should have continued checking it because it does move. And as you can see, it's gone a little bit skew with. So probably going to end up a leaning tower, a Christmas tree. But then if you have a belt sander, then there's no reason why you can't just pop it on that. Now this bit was really wet in the middle, to the point, oh, we're going to cut that off, not with a chisel. I saw somewhere, aha, a little Japanese saw. It's always best, if you're not happy or it doesn't look safe, stop. You know, there are other ways around it. I do need to sand the bottom up now. I've used the Japanese saw. And we'll just take the nubbity nub off the top. So we use a knife for that. As I said, I wanted to leave the top slightly bigger. I will put a 6mm dowel in there, just so I can put a star on the top. Yeah, I need to do the bottom. But there we go. One simple Christmas tree. You can take it in. You can do the shapes as you want. There's lots out there. Loads of people have turned them. Brian did a live Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. We did pop-up Christmas trees at Woodturning. Go over and check that video out. Loads on there. Just Google Woodturning Christmas ornaments and all your inspiration will be there. Thank you for everyone. I am going to cut it short, but I need to tidy up the mess I've made and get ready. And if not, going to Harrogate, take it easy. If you are going to Harrogate, don't be a stranger. Come over, say hi. Hopefully, I should have some stickers with me if my wife's posted them up, but we'll see. Okay, Dale, hit that button. See, I can't even do it. I don't know. I'm just going to waffle.